Hello everyone, my name is Josh and welcome back to another video. And today, this is basically a different type of video. This is on Mobile Legends. And if you are from the Philippines, I am incredibly positive you know this game. Don't come to this video and tell me that you have never played this game whatsoever because I would definitely I would not believe any of you. But anyways, just jokes aside, um, I will be showing some gameplay on Hirara, basically me playing, obviously, and give some insight and some thoughts about her, and basically my experience with her as I played with her for first time. Well, first of all, one thing to note is that she is the first ever hero in Mobile Legends who has two skills. But don't let these two skills fool you because it turns out their mechanic is actually a bit more difficult at first. And as you can see in this gameplay here, I am having a difficult time picking up her combos because I have no idea where her passive works. And basically, how her skills work is you can combine them. You can combine skill 1 with skill 2 for to immobilize enemies, and you can combine the second skill with the first skill for a short immunity. So it is, yeah, I basically died many times the first time I played her. And one thing to note as well is she is not very ideal. She's not as ideally used as a side laner. Um, for context, this game plays someone already. I took jungle, but then I think there was an alpha in my team. Wanted to go jungle, and then I was like, but when he did not change his battle spell, I was like, bro, you are wasting our you are wasting my time. Anyways, jokes aside, this was a very tricky battle. This was a very tricky match because one, I'm not very good with Hirara yet, and two, I'm in I can't even pick up her skills and I just died straight away because yeah, I dived straight in without doing the combo, so that was basically on me. So yeah, never use Hirara as a side laner if you are using her for the first time. Especially if you're using her for the first time because she's just a new hero. I think she was just added like around 2 weeks ago for the new season. And the first time I used her, boy, I had a very hard time. And as you can see here, her passive basically works as when it's fully charged up, you can actually use her combo. You can you can basically do the first skill, second skill, first skill, um, twice if you are like for example, you want to do the first and second skill combo twice, you can only do it twice. But if you want to combine both of the combos, you basically have to do each one once, it sounds confusing at first, but if you get it, if you actually understand how her skills work, then it's fine. But in this case, in this gameplay, I do not understand how her skills work. And one thing to note as well is, do not use her as a, yeah, I basically lost in this one. And yeah, that's basically one mistake I made, but it wasn't really my fault anyway. Um, yeah, it was basically the alpha's fault, which is kind of annoying. But yeah, that's basically a gameplay of me like having a hard time using Hirara. And I think another thing to note as well is her first and second skill have, even if they are both on cooldown, you can still use her combo, which sounds very confusing, but it yeah, it didn't really make sense for me at first. But basically, even if her skills don't, even if you can't use her skills individually, you can actually just combine as long as you can actually use the combo as long as what do you call this? As long as her passive is up. So yeah, she's a very confusing hero at first, and she is a pretty balanced hero. As long as you can actually get her combos, as long as you understand how she works, you'll get it. So yeah, about her skills. Her first skill is basically a dash, a double dash, which can go through walls technically. And her second skill is basically damage. And I think what's a bit confusing is I think she relies on the joystick to actually work properly. So basically, if you do a combo first to second skill and second to first skill, you basically move the joystick on where you want to go, which is a bit confusing, which is not really new, but you kind of get the idea. And right now, this is actually a gameplay of me when I actually understood how she works, which this was basically uncut. So one thing's for sure is that I despite I risk my win rate for to master this hero. I'm not even joking. My win rate at the start of the season was like at around 70%, and then it dropped all the way to 46. Yeah, that's how many times I lost with this hero. Yeah, I'm telling you guys, practice makes perfect, alright? You don't you don't need to check your win rate as as a Mobile Legends player. If you play Mobile Legends, if you are practicing a very difficult hero, better go practice mode or AI mode or versus AI so that you will not have a hard time basically mastering the hero. So like for example, Fanny. As we all know, Fanny is a very difficult hero, but Hirara is not really as close as difficult as Fanny. So yeah, as you can see in the start of this gameplay, I was pretty much lucky to have a good lineup. And one thing, oh, actually, I didn't notice this. I didn't actually check. The enemies don't really have, the opposing team don't actually have a jungle, so I guess I was just lucky. But this is her as a jungler. Actually, in my opinion, she's really made as a jungler, and she's not really made as a side laner because she's gonna have a very difficult time against the enemy, like the previous round. And as you can see, there's a choose just invading me, and I couldn't even get my blue buff. And as you can see, I'm already under half health. So yeah, Hirara is not only situational, she's incredibly squishy. And yeah, don't be like me here. Don't be like me here. Like I didn't yeah, I didn't go the second first combo, so don't even try doing that. If you guys made Hirara, I'm sorry. I'm not. That's actually one mistake you could actually make when it comes to your combo. Because if you do it wrong, you're going to die. Especially with how squishy she is. There's no way you're going to survive some damage like that from Chu. This is just early game. This is just early game, guys. So the Chu attempts to attack again, but at least I understand our skills work now. But like really, Paquito really has a very high shield for some reason. It's just insane. I couldn't believe it. Anyways, aside from that, as you can see, I kind of got a hold of Hirara's combos. You can actually just spout. You can actually just use the combo as many times as you want, as long as your passive is up. Even if both of your skills are on cooldown, don't let that fool you, because that's basically going to be a combo that's not on cooldown at all. So, see, as you can see, I'm already under half health immediately. So, I would basically call her a hit and run hero, but not really, because her mobility relies on her first skill and her combo. So, you should be careful. Because usually when you engage, you should not really go for it immediately you are a, if you either you are alone or if you're not confident. Yeah. Yeah, as you can see, the dash didn't work at this part because I aimed it wrong. And yeah, I somewhat improved more in here. This is not my second game though. This is just a random recording I just made on a successful round as the new hero. And I could say she's actually pretty decent. She's pretty good as a jungler. Pretty much a jungler, in fact. So whenever you use her, don't use her as a side lane. Yeah, use her as a jungler. Yeah, I risked my win rate for this hero, guys, just to practice and understand how she works. I basically don't care about my win rate. I, I'm I'm a decent player, but I also want to actually understand how the hero works instead of just going for it like a maniac who doesn't even understand how the hero works. So yeah, basically, I'm just enjoy the rest of the gameplay, I suppose, because this is a very long gameplay. Yes. To be, to be honest, I think her damage output is balanced for me. As long as you understand how she works. As long as you understand how she works, she's not gonna be an incredible pain to use. But remember, she's incredibly prone to crowd control. So if you time her second first combo correctly, you're definitely going to not get hit. If assuming that you time the combo correctly. And again, her dash can technically pass through walls, but you have to time. You have to go in the right spots to actually make it work. And because she's a close range hero, I noticed that it's very hard to dive in most of the time if the enemy is so far away. So yeah, just wait until the enemy is a bit close to you so that you will be able to land your combo properly. So yeah, comparing this gameplay with my recent gameplay, it's much better. It is much better compared to the last game because I already understand how her skills work. Oh yeah, aside from my opinion, what do you guys think? What do you guys think on how this hero works? Let me know in the comments. Because yeah, in my opinion, she's pretty balanced. Her damage is pretty balanced. She doesn't really need a buff. Um, because in my opinion, because she relies on on her skills. She relies on her combos to be able to be effective. And you should always check her passive if her passive is up so that you won't have a hard time. And also, she relies on her the joystick to be able to land the combo properly. So yeah, she's yeah, at first she's a very tricky hero, but when you get it, for sure you will for sure you will be able to play as good as this. Yeah, it's very yeah. At first I was having a hard time. I kept on dying, and it felt like what do you call this? It's like a babe. It's like it's basically a baby. Baby who's playing is just mashing the buttons. That's how it was in the first one earlier. I did had I basically had no idea that you can still do the combo when most of your skills are on cooldown, which is which is actually pretty confusing at first. So yeah, as you can see here, I just saw the Chu already in the map, and I did not go for it immediately because I was not sure if there's anyone else. Of course, I did that combo wrong because I was too far away. Yeah, at this part I couldn't see a thing. So and also if you are stuck in a very tricky situation with when you are going to engage with um opponents with crowd control, you can go for second first skill just so that you won't get uh hit potentially. But if you are alone, don't do that. Don't do that. You don't even try to engage against at least three people, at least three enemies. If you are not confident, or if you can't really do any damage to them, like a tanky hero, for example, you can't just go attack. You can't just attack a tanky hero. That's not a good idea. As you can see there, I couldn't do any damage there because I think not close enough. But I did get him eventually and I died. Yeah. It's basically one example of you don't chase enemies. Don't chase enemies even if they are super far away. Because I think it's basically greed, at this point. Don't be too greedy when I guess when you actually engage. Unlike other heroes, I think Hirara is not really that difficult to use. At first, yes, she is difficult. She feels like what do you call it? It's kind of like using a very quick assassin hero. But in this case, Hirara really is not a quick hero. She's more of a skill reliant hero, so she can't really dash as much as most assassins. But she she hits very hard as long as you're close. As long as you get your engage right, it's okay. It should be fine. Okay, so there there is some exceptions though when it comes to Rara. One downside is you can't use her as a side laner. I mean, if you're good, if you're that skilled. Second, she's very prone to crowd control, so she's not really easy to use or engage. It's not easy to engage with her. And lastly is I would say she is team reliant. Not really, actually. No, I think I'm wrong. I'm wrong. She's not really team reliant. She doesn't have a way to sustain herself as much. So yeah, you should be very careful with this hero. She's very squishy. So I suggest if you want to actually uh survive, you can do the second first combo. But if you're already confident, you can actually, if you want to immobilize enemies you're at full health, or if you're confident, you can do so. But if you're not confident yet, like I suggest, you know, practicing her combos, regardless if both of her skills are on cooldown. And yeah, this is basically the game right here. Yeah, comparing the first video recording I showed you compared to this one, I significantly improved more. Unlike, earlier. It's painful to watch, I know. At least this one improved. Anyways, guys, that is basically it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. And if you want more videos like this, just make sure to leave a like, subscribe with all notifications on so that you will not miss another video. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.